Hey y'all, this week on the podcast, we're going to talk about all things Ninja Foodi.
And answer, who is Aunt Lou?
All while having a whole lot of fun. Hi, and welcome back to As Good As It Gets, the podcast.
I'm Cris.
And I'm Mikey.
And this is a weekly chat from our camper kitchen.
Here we are in Lake Mead, Nevada.
Yes, we are.
Nevada.
We finally have left.
Tomato.
We have finally exited Utah after spending, what, 2-3 weeks there?
We were there for about 2.5 weeks. We started in Green River and worked our way around a couple different national parks like Arches and the Canyonlands. We weren't too far away from Moab, if y'all know where that's at. And then we moved on to closer to Zion National Park. We were in Virgin, Utah, and we got to see a couple more national parks around there. Love Utah. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's nothing that I ever imagined. So
there's something to see around every corner.
Absolutely. So,
Yep.
But now we are in Nevada, close to Las Vegas, baby, and but we're camping up here at Lake Mead before
Yes.
we head home for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So I've been enjoying it.
Yes.
It's a little something different to get used to again, to go from a house to a camper and run a business and do a lot of cooking and stuff. So sometimes you feel a little like this, but we're in Lake Mead, and the really cool thing is when you get closer to them big cities, there's a lot more opportunities for some open mics. And so I got to do one last night finally, and I didn't realize it, but the owner of the establishment was there. And after I got done with the open mic, dude comes up and says, "Hey, you were really good. Would you like to open up for one of my bands this weekend and make a little cash?" I was like, "I'll pay you." So we're having a good time right now down here at Lake Mead.
Yeah, and so this is the last stop for this part of the trip. We're going to make a brief trek, or not a brief, it's going to be a haul home.
Yeah, we're going to fly home for a little bit.
We're going to stay home. Not fly, we'll drive.
Well, I drive fast.
But once we get home, we'll be there for a brief time, and then what is on the agenda is good old Texas.
Yes. Oh, Texas. Oh, we're coming.
But coming up this next week on the blog and channel, it could just be called themed Soup Week. I didn't realize it was going to be that way, but I was looking at this so we could talk to you guys about it, and I started looking, and Monday is going to be a yummy new recipe for electric pressure cooker users. It is going to be our electric pressure cooker Philly cheesesteak soup. It is low carb. It is the Instant Pot or Foodie or electric pressure cooker version of our Philly cheesesteak casserole that you can do in the crock pot. So whichever way you want to do it, now we have 2 different ways for you to cook it. It is so yummy. It's Philly cheesesteak in a bowl.
And did you know, since this is all things foodie, the Foodie has an electric pressure cooker in it?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes. We're going to be talking a lot about the Foodie here in a little bit, because we got a whole bunch of questions all at one time. And so we were like, well, we'll just answer we'll do a Foodie FAQ for the podcast this time.
Means frequently asked questions, in case everybody thought, what's FAQ?
Then on Tuesday, we're going to have a brand new video and new recipe on the website of our Instant Pot pork chili verde. We're
Good
actually
stuff.
Instant Pot, again, Foodie. Anytime I say those words, you can use the pressure cooker is what I'm referring to. The pressure cooker, it is also another low carb soup for my low carb people. It is so yummy. I think we've had it like a total of 5 times on this trip, so we kind of really like it.
It's good.
So you guys are going to get to see that. We're going to show you how we do it. I think in the video we're actually using the Foodie to do it. So that you'll see that.
And for all y'all who don't care about low carb and don't want to do low carb,
it's still yummy.
Eat it with crackers. It's still good. It's
still very, very yummy. On Wednesday, coming up on the channel, we are going to show you, now that we've gotten through our Amarillo troubles, as those of you guys probably saw, we are going to show you our first glimpses of Albuquerque and that area, and we're going to show you a really cool hike that we got to take. So that's going to be a lot of fun. On Thursday, Aunt Lou is on the blog. She's sharing a new meatball vegetable soup, which is a really cool twist on a traditional soup. And then you and Aunt Lou will be in the kitchen showing them a traditional chicken noodle soup.
And it's not low carb, and it was good. Spoiler alert from last week.
It'll all depend on our taping schedule and what all we get done around here. We may have another foodie video on Friday. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get that in again this week. But come Saturday, we will be announcing the winner of our corn casserole cook-off giveaway that we were doing. If
you don't know what we're talking about, go back in the videos and check out the crock off that we did at Patoka Lake with our family and Aunt Lou's family. Our in-laws even showed up. We had a great time, but we announced that we're doing a giveaway of your choice between the programmable crock casserole crock. I can see it in my head. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. The programmable casserole crock or the Ninja multi-cooker. Now, that's not the foodie.
No.
Not yet. But I know some people are like, really?
You keep teasing.
But let's just go with this. It's the multi-cooker. It's my favorite cooker. Anything Ninja has blown me away. But we're going to give you a choice of either the multi-cooker or the programmable crock pot casserole crock. So if you have not done so already, go back, make sure you're a subscriber, leave us a comment below on which one you think.
Not below here.
No,
below
not
on
here.
The corn casserole.
No, on the corn casserole post. Make sure that you leave a comment down below telling us which one of those recipes that you would like to try. There's no pressure on which one. Just because Cris made the corn casserole and not the corn pudding, it doesn't mean you're going to get any extra love. It's all by chance on who's going to get it. I'm not saying that you should vote for Cris.
Oh, now don't tell them that. No.
Sorry, Aunt Lou. I'm biased.
You guys have until Wednesday, I believe at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, to enter that. And the way you enter that is being a subscriber and leaving a comment on that post.
Yep.
And then we will contact the winner and announce that winner on the podcast on the 17th. And so that takes us all through all of the content for next week. But so what we wanted to do, instead of like going into a story and those kinds of things like we tend to do on these podcasts, is we had so many questions after our Ninja Foodi review. We decided we're just going to dedicate the rest of the time of the podcast today to all of your questions, suggestions, and just the information that our community seems to really want to be talking about this. So we want to talk about it. This
is such a new product.
Yes.
We're still learning. In fact, I just taped, and I'm in the middle of taping a recipe right now that we're going to have later on in the channel. Maybe. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the video, see if it's worth it, because I had me a little learning curve with it. I didn't know that when you slow cook on the Foodi, you're supposed to use the pressure cooker lid and not the top lid that flips down. And so
the Foodi told you that.
About 2 minutes, I'm standing there with my mouth open, just going, because it was going lid.
But before we get there, we have promised, because we have lots of new Crock Posse members coming along. Everybody is a little confused. Not everybody, but some folks are a little confused on who Aunt Lou is. Some folks think Aunt Lou and I are the same person, and we just keep dyeing our hair. We get that a lot. And then people want to know if she's my aunt or his aunt, and it's all kinds of confusing. And so, so we're just going to clarify a little bit on who Aunt Lou. I'm going to answer this question.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm just going, she's a pain in the neck.
No, that's not nice.
No, she's awesome.
Aunt Lou is my sister. Her first name really is Sarah and not Lou. I don't know why y'all are so confused. She's been called Lou since she was a little bitty girl. And so when Addie came along, my daughter, Miss Ad, as we call her on the channel, Lou became Aunt Lou. And now she is Aunt Lou everywhere. That's just what everybody calls her. That's, I mean, at least around us, that's
Everybody.
what everybody calls her. And so when she joined the team to be at Recipes That Crock, it was only natural, because we were going to call her Aunt Lou both on camera and in blog posts anyways, that she just continued to be who she is in our real life. So so she went by Aunt Lou, but some people get a little confused because they think that means she's my aunt, or I don't know, Mikey's aunt or something. I don't know. No,
So she's way too young to be my aunt.
Mikey and Lou have a very brother-sister relationship, because
She's a pain in the neck.
Lou was still a kiddo when Mikey and I got married, and so they definitely have that brother-sister, I'm gonna punch you kind of relationship.
'Cause she's a pain in the neck.
But so Lou works full-time at the blog, and sometimes she does shows on the channel and all that kind of stuff. She works full-time with me to create all the things we create. So that's who she is. She is my little sister.
She's my little sister too. See, you can have in-laws. I got lucky when it came to my in-laws, and they're I don't think, because a lot of people think in-laws are the same thing as outlaws, and mine are not. Mine are amazing. My mother and father-in-law are like the best people in the whole wide world. And of course they had you.
Aww.
And they had Aunt Lou, and
Yeah.
they did a good job. So
Yeah.
I love my in-laws.
So Aunt Lou is a big part of both what we do on the channel. She's a great big part of what we do on the website. She helps answer a lot of questions. She's helping us keep things running. She helps us keep things running while we're on the road. So that's who Aunt Lou is.
Now you know. The more you know. Stop.
Now, as for the foodie, let's start back at square one a little bit. If you do not know what we're talking about,
Google it.
we have done 2 videos on the channel. One is our Ninja Foodi unboxing, and one is our Ninja Foodi review. Those 2 videos probably would give you a better idea of what we're talking about than me trying to explain it in depth. But the bottom line is, in our world of all the devices that we use to cook, there are crock pots, or slow cookers as we all call them. And then there are electric pressure cookers. A popular brand in electric pressure cooking is called Instant Pot. Speaking of Aunt Lou,
there's Aunt Lou.
she's binging me. There are pressure cookers. And then there are also air fryers out there, and I think Power XL might be one of the most popular brands in that. Ninja has come along, and to clarify, the Instant Pot electric pressure cookers also tend to do some of the slow cooking kind of things.
Everybody's trying to get their hand in doing, you know,
all kinds of things.
Well, mine does this and mine does that. Then Ninja comes along and creates this Frankenstein of a contraption. Weird looking, 2 lids, looks like a baby R2-D2. If Crock Pot and Instant Pot and R2-D2 had a baby, it would look like the Ninja Foodi, and it does everything.
Well,
except playing Star Wars.
Okay.
But still.
So ultimately, the things that the Ninja Foodi, at least in our circles, is known to do is it is an electric pressure cooker. It's like the electric pressure cooker and the air fryer are now combined, so you can pressure cook or slow cook, and then you can finish off with the air fryer, or you can just air fry, or you can just slow cook or pressure cook. So you've got all, yeah.
My wife tends to talk with her hands a bit.
So there's and then some of the models of the Ninja Foodi can do other things like dehydrate. I think most of the models also have what's called the oven feature, and we're going to get into a little bit more of that here in a minute. But we wanted to go through some of your questions, and one of the first questions that I was given is I'm actually scrolling through them right now. M. Lopez asked, how much did yours cost? Because I mentioned I bought mine before it was out on Amazon or out, or at least where I could see it in Walmart or anything like that. I have model 302, and I actually had to pull up my receipt, and I bought it off of Ninja Foodi's website, and this was a couple months ago. And original price for 302 at that time, it could be different now, I don't know, is $179.40, and then I got a 10% discount, it looks like. But yet I still had to pay for shipping, and that's why a lot of people like to do Amazon, and I think Walmart might even be offering free shipping now too. But shipping was like $20, and then there was also tax. So with all was said and done, for the model that has all the bells and whistles that I have, I ended up paying $194.11, and I realized that is steep for a lot of folks. So that's something just to keep in mind when we're talking. I do believe that there are cheaper models out there. I've heard that people are finding it less expensive at Walmart, but it may not have all the bells and whistles. That's just something you have to...
Something you might look for are Black Friday deals coming up when it comes down to that, because this $200 model, when it comes to Black Friday, a lot of stores may have it. Check on Amazon as well. This is where I'm going to formally invite you to go through our Amazon store to find it.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you don't pay anything extra. It's just that Amazon will give us a kickback on it. But I would check on Black Friday to see maybe if you get lucky, especially as popular as this thing is getting, that if you go on a Black Friday sale, you might get it at like a huge discount.
Yeah, so just keep your eyes peeled on those kinds of things. One of the questions that I got was, does the does the pressure cooker feature work the same as pressure cooker XL? I'm going to say yes for the most part. If I think I used to have one of those like back before I bought my actual Instant Pot. I'm not exactly, I'd have to go back and look to make sure that that was the exact mod or exact make that I had. However, most of the 6-quart pressure cookers that I have cook very, very similarly. And I would say this cooks right on par with that. It does have that extra half quart. It takes just a little bit longer, maybe a minute or two to reach pressure. It's the releasing of pressure that I would say I oftentimes think takes a little bit longer. And I'd say probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes longer. It just seems like it goes on and on and on and on. So, and that's my unit. It maybe, I don't know. But, so that was her question. We have some suggestions that you guys gave me that I really, really appreciated. When I was talking about making my biscuits and burning my hands, I got 2 different emails, one from Tammy and one from Elaine, that said, I just wonder if you ever thought about using that broiler basket or the broiler attachment to put your biscuit pan on so that you could easily lift it and pull it out. 2 different people wrote me to tell me that, and I was like, you know what? That is so smart. And so I'm definitely going to do that the next time I try to make some biscuits. And speaking of those biscuits, everybody's been asking for that recipe, and we did get that up on Friday. You will see a video of us making the biscuits in the Ninja Foodi, and we give you the recipe that we used with the tweaks that we made from the back of the Carb Quick box for those low carb people. So there are 2 blog posts up on Recipes at Crock. We've been working hard for y'all. And an extra video this week to kind of show you that whole process. So you can dig in wherever. If you prefer to read it, it's on the reading. If you prefer to watch it, it's on the YouTube channel. And just let us know if that's something that you enjoy. We might, if we can manage it, start to try and add more foodie content, particularly on Fridays, because I like saying Foodie Friday.
She just wants me to edit more videos.
And so, if you guys like that, let us know, and we might add that into the calendar to try and get that stuff going. So those links should be down below and also easily found on the channel. I'm scrolling through to see if we have any more questions really quickly.
Yes, I did get a new tattoo.
Oh, that was
one of the questions. I did right there. It's upside, well, it's right here. It's kind of upside down, but it says Speak Life. And if you could see it, can you see it? It says Speak Life, and that is Colossians 4:6. That is a sound wave right there of my wife and daughter reading Colossians 4:6. So Go look that up in your Bible if you're interested.
There was one more. Oh, okay. 2 questions. One is answered during the biscuit video, but I'll go on and answer it. Marilyn asks, could you share the Cheddar Bay biscuits you cooked in there? Did you use the air fryer feature or the oven feature on the Foodie? I think I've used both, to be honest. I don't really notice much of a difference, but I believe in that video I'm actually using the air crisper feature because I want it to be able to be converted to an air fryer if you don't have the Foodie and you want to use the air fryer. So there's that answer. And then Joyce had a really good idea that I tested, which was, she said you can use the broiler rack to hang your bacon and that way air fry a lot more at once. And I was super excited for this idea and I tested it and it didn't work out. It did let me get tons more bacon in there, but with all that in there, it cooked way slower, so it didn't save any time. And then the other part was with how it's positioned, where if you have your bacon hanging on those racks, all the tops of where the bacon was hanging, that got really, really crispy. And the bottoms all were like really, really chewy. And in order to try and get it like more even, then part of it was getting overcooked. And it was a bad bacon day, guys.
Octavius didn't mind one bit though. He got some extra bacon.
But one of the things I do love, and I think I've mentioned, or I've mentioned in some future videos that are coming out, is I do love cooking our bacon in there, which I lay it flat in the air fryer basket and it does beautifully. But I do like doing it because the bacon falls to the bottom of the pan, and then a lot of times I'm testing a new recipe. A lot of times I can just heat that pot back up with the saute feature and cook things in that fat for whatever it is, what other future thing that I'm trying to cook. We do that with the pork verde. We're also hopefully going to do that with a new foodie recipe that's coming out. So
cool.
Yeah.
We like the Foodie. If you can't tell, we're fans of the Foodie.
We are not, this is not a sponsored.
Oh no, we're paying them well to do this.
We just really like the device. It comes in very handy for RV living with the way that we're traveling and all that kind of stuff. We can bake things, we can cook things. Like last night, I hesitate to tell people because when I say I make something, then everybody's like, put that up there. Last night I made, I sauteed some Brussels sprouts and then air fried them, and oh my goodness.
Spoiler alert. They were good.
Like if you were low carb and craving French fries. Now see, this is why people ask me for the recipes.
Okay, let's do it this way. Y'all know that she is like intense low carb. I'm joining for the ride, but I am in no way as dedicated as she is. And I'm the kind of guy where if you say, here, have something that'll take the place of French fries, I'm gonna be like, no, because I like French fries. I love my taters. She handed me one Brussels sprout, and I tried the first one without anything on it, no ketchup, no nothing, because she had some ketchup and some ranch, and I just tried the Brussels sprout. And I think the reason people really like French fries isn't just for the flavor of the potato, but it's also you want that crispy on the outside, but a little mushy on the inside, you know? And then you want to have good flavor. It doesn't taste like potatoes, I'll tell you that right now. But it's crispy on the... No, it doesn't. Because it was crispy on the outside. It had that bacon flavor to it. Mm-hmm. It was mushy like a good French fry on the inside. And she said it was good with ketchup. That's cool. I dipped it in the ranch, and it was life-altering because I only got a couple bites of it before I had to go to that open mic, and I'm hoping that you'll make it again really soon. I don't care if I don't care if you film it for them or what. I just want you to make me some more. They were seriously good, and to me they were just as good as French fries. And I know a lot of people were going to say, "Ew, Brussels sprouts." If you try them this way, it's not a punishment. You got to get that out of your head. They are seriously some of the best things I've ever eaten.
I did not think I liked Brussels sprouts, and I've kind of just stayed away from them until I had a friend. I went to lunch and she said, you have to taste their bacon fried Brussels sprouts here. And I'm like, she got them, I didn't. And she let me have one. And I was like, oh, that tastes way different than Brussels sprouts I remember, like the boiled and butter and all that kind of, like, it tastes way different. And so,
it's a treat. So
the next time I went to lunch with her, I ordered Brussels sprouts, and it was very, very good. And so I've always been, it's been in the back of my mind, okay, I'm so gonna make this recipe. And so I've been testing it, and we hit the jackpot last night. But my point in telling you that is that we I could cook with the bacon. I cooked bacon in the morning, or actually I think I did bacon in the afternoon that day. Cooked bacon, that fat fell to the bottom of my pan, and then I was able to heat that up with the Brussels sprouts to saute them with the seasonings before then transferring them to my basket and air fried. It all happened in the same pot. And then when all was said and done, I just wiped out the pot, put the broiler rack in, and I broiled us hamburgers to go with, instead of getting the grill out because it was late last night. We were on a walk and it got dark way faster than we thought it was going to. And so instead of saying Mike needed to leave, instead of having him dig out the grill, I was like, oh, I'll broil the hamburgers. And so all of that happened in that one unit. And it saved me so much time, and it was so much easier to clean up than if I were to be using multiple units or multiple skillets and all that kind of stuff.
On our last trip, this past, like last fall and upwards into this past spring, we were using 2 or 3 different slow cookers a lot. A lot of times we're using them like a lot, you know, in the same day. And one thing I've noticed on this trip, and yeah, it's because we want to play with the new toy, you know, for sure that we like the foodie, but we don't need to dig out a whole bunch of slow cookers or instant pots or air fryers or whatever, when we've got one unit that is really doing a good job at every function that we put it up to.
Yeah, I last year when we had both, I think I used the Crock Pot Express that I had. I used the slow cook feature on it a couple times on our trip, but mostly I was using it as a pressure cooker. And then of course we were using our Instant Pot as a pressure cooker. I don't hesitate to use the slow cook feature on our foodie because I like how it slow cooks.
We're slow cooking it.
We're slow cooking right now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we don't still, I mean, we use our Ninja multi-cooker quite a bit. I have my casserole crock with this. I have a recipe I'm wanting to making it here coming up because I still like my other go-to slow cookers. And
I feel so bad for my favorite Ninja. It's not that I don't love it, it's just that
oh, I still use that. I use it to make brownies.
I do too.
Okay, we have one last question / statement from Red Baron, and it says, "Did you know
the pizza?"
No, it's
Snoopy's nemesis.
Some letters and things too, but I just read the main part of it. Okay, did you know that an 8-quart model is available? I did not know this. I would be interested in that almost for the slow cookie and then like the real estate more than like
because that's 6.5 quart. That thing's 6.5 quart, and like I've said before, it's a tank. So Lord knows how big that thing would be.
I would be interested in the 8-quart because, like, okay, a good example is the brownies that I think I just mentioned. I make brownies in my Ninja multi-cooker because I like to get it to where it can spread out. An 8-quart would probably give me a bigger surface to spread things out.
You know, I would. And one thing I did in this video here is the video that I'm doing calls for you to saute at brown some chicken thighs, and in the 6.5 quart you can't really saute 5 pounds of chicken thighs, so I did it half, in the Ninja and half on the stovetop. And I'm wondering with that, you could do a full 5 pounds of chicken.
Yeah. Now you got us thinking, Red Baron.
Great. Now we're going to have to go buy another toy. And
they said it seems like it's only on their website. I think I'm also finding that a lot of the accessories, like the Ninja branded accessories and model choices and those kinds of things, are, at least for right now, only on their website. So you might want to actually go check out their website to see what else. But they said extra enamel pots are also available and not really all that expensive comparatively. That's interesting too. I could get, not so much in the camper. In the camper, I like there only being one, because that means you got to clean it up before you can go on. But at home, I think I would like being able to toss one in the dishwasher and go right into the next one. They could see some real value in it having an extra pot. They also talk about that you can actually buy the main unit without all the extra things that come with it for $130. But you'd still have to buy the pressure lid separately. But they're talking about, like, if you damage something, that they're, at least for now, they've got the parts that you can replace. And then they said, do you think it's necessary to have a spare gasket? How often does that need replacing? We don't know yet, because we haven't worn it out. I haven't replaced a gasket on any of my electric pressure cookers, and I've been doing that for what, 1.5, 2 years now. Yeah. So I haven't done that. Now, I do know that it is a popular, I'm assuming they mean like the plastic. Yeah. Okay. I do know it's like a rubber silicone ring. It's a popular practice for people to have a savory gasket and a sweet gasket. Because what people say is sometimes that plastic absorbs like the flavors. So like we make our pork chili verde, and then if I wanted to turn around and make a cheesecake, some folks claim that if you use a gasket that was cooking something savory, sometimes that savory flavor comes out in the sweet. I've heard that a lot. I've never heard of that, but pork chili verde cheesecake does not sound good. Yes. So sometimes people have 2 gaskets and they literally use one. They put in the sweet one when they're making cheesecake, and then they switch it out and when they're making something savory. And so that's what I've heard the most about gaskets, not about them running out, but because they do that. I'll be honest, I don't think I've made any desserts like recently. I haven't went there yet. There's just so many savory things. But I do have a cheesecake pan that I want to use, so I'm getting ready to try that. So I might just have to make an order on the website. I'm just saying. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But those, I hope we've answered most of your foodie questions. If you have any, I'm getting in trouble. I hit the microphone. You're good. If you have any additional questions, definitely send them to us. We will try. I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about this for a long time. If a foodie isn't in your budget or in your desire, don't worry, because for the most part, anything that we're cooking, we try to give you a different way to do it. So, for example, if we're cooking something in an electric pressure cooker, if we're cooking it in the foodie, you can definitely cook it in an Instant Pot. Or if you don't have an electric pressure cooker and prefer slow cooking, we almost always have a slow cooker alternative. If we're cooking in the air fryer, we will try at least to give you an oven-based time so that you could do the same recipe in the oven as the air fryer. But don't ever feel like you have to have something in order to play along here in the Crock Posse, because we're trying to share the things that we love. That's what it boils down to. And if you really, really want a foodie, stay tuned. He keeps teasing you. Alrighty, guys. Well, that has been our show. So what have we learned today? We've learned that the foodie is awesome.
that it could do multiple things and it lose a pain in the neck.
You're awful.
I know.
You're awful. All right, guys. Well, we hope whatever you do,
laugh often,
eat good food,
and speak life.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon link below.